Hello, I'm Mac, at least for a day, and everything's going to be okay. This video is going to be extremely spoiler heavy, so if you don't want information on the third expedition spoiled, then do not watch this. So a few days ago, Procedural Traveler tweeted out some information that someone data mined about No Man's Sky, information about the third expedition. Here is the tweet. And I'll read it. It says, heavy No Man's Sky spoilers. Expedition 3 is inevitably around the corner. This is what we know so far about Expedition 3 due to data mining. Big up Gumpsk on Discord for the data mine the other day. I put together the image below, visualizing it all. Click to expand. Okay, so now I'm going to read through the information. So this is information that will almost definitely be what the third expedition is like. Again, if you don't want it spoiled, then don't watch this. But I'm going to go ahead and read through it now. Here is the image of it. And it says stage 1, base building. So there's going to be some kind of base building objective. We've got to build a base for the first objective. Get mech, so we've got to construct the exomech, I assume. Collect storm crystals. Dig something up. It's interesting that they don't know exactly what you're supposed to dig up. So whatever they data mined must not have been completely clear what the objective was. It was probably code and it involved something about digging, so they inferred that we're going to have to dig something up. Probably fossils, I'm guessing, or the special buried tech satellites. Probably not just normal buried tech, it's probably going to be something special. Find NPC shops and then leave planet. It's interesting that it doesn't say rendezvous point on these. We've usually always had rendezvous points. Maybe they didn't include rendezvous points yet because they don't want people to know where they are. Something someone mentioned in the discussion about this was that there was like placeholder data for where the rendezvous points were so that nobody could go to them early. All right, stage 2, explore caves. That's really cool. Oh man, I probably shouldn't say this, but wouldn't it be awesome if they did another update to caves? Of course, we just got to update to caves, so they're probably doing an expedition where we explore caves just so that we'll get to, see the currently improved caves and not add anything else new to caves. Deal with cave hazard plants, so I guess we're going to have to destroy a few of those new blob plants. Destroy a certain number of those. Dig up fossils. Okay, so this phase has dig up fossils. So dig something up in phase 1 probably refers to some kind of buried tech. And then in stage 2, we're going to dig up fossils. Then we're going to get pets. So we're going to have a objective to get a certain number of pets, I assume. And then scan underground creatures, scan minerals, and then use a portal. That's really interesting. I wonder if they're going to probably one of the rewards for the previous phases will give us portal glyphs so that we can use a portal, I guess. Stage 3 says fix warp drive. That's pretty normal. It's unusual for fixing the warp drive to not be until stage 3. I guess they expect us to do stage 1 and 2 all in the same star system? Unless, I don't know. Oh well. And then visit an archive, so one of the new giant buildings. Get treasure, which is probably the buried treasure at the special item ruins. Get to a red planet. I'm guessing this is another inference they made. It is probably more code that said something about red. I don't think it actually means red planet. It probably means a planet in a red star system, because or maybe it's talking about a hot planet. Hot planets are usually red, or maybe it's talking about lava planets. Not sure what it means by go to a red planet. I don't, yeah, I don't know. And then two missions are blank. Ooh, so this time stage 3 is going to have two special encrypted objectives. That's the first time we've had mystery things. Well, I mean, the missions might be blank because they don't want us to know them yet, or they might be special encrypted ones that we won't know until we complete other objectives like we did in the Beachhead update. And then stage 4, Disk Planet. It just says Disk Planet. I'm guessing it is also code that has to do with a ringed planet. So maybe it'll be an objective to find and land on a ringed planet. Underwater building. So we're going to have to build an underwater base. Underwater freighter. We're going to have to find and maybe salvage stuff from an underwater freighter. Extreme survival. So we're probably just going to have to stay on a planet, an extreme conditions planet for a certain amount of time, and then have dug up a certain amount of resources. That might refer to just like mining copper and other, piles of resources that you find on the ground, and then have a certain amount of units. So that's a pretty standard one. Stage 5, there's not much information. It just says something about ship rank, and then 4 missions are blank. So again, it looks like we're going to have some encrypted missions. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention was that we will start with an exotic ship. So in stage 5, where it says something about ship rank, it wouldn't make sense to require us to have an S rank ship because they're going to start us with an S rank ship. Exotic ships are always S rank. So whatever the objective about ship rank is, it's not to get an S rank ship. Maybe it's to upgrade a ship a certain number of times. I don't know. But then there's 4 blank missions. So again, either they're trying to prevent us from knowing the objectives right now, or they're going to be encrypted objectives when we do the expedition that will be unlocked as we do things, much like in the Beachhead expedition. All right, so this is really exciting. A few more things I want to mention. We also have a clue as to when the update to get this expedition is. So this is just a rumor, and of course, this whole list is data mined, so it's not it's not like guaranteed that these are going to be the objectives in the expedition. They might change them before the expedition actually releases, and also this rumor is not for sure, but apparently there's some Twitch streamers, and this is totally hearsay. I don't know all of the information. This is just a rumor I heard on Atlas CSD. But apparently there's some Twitch streamers that were saying something about Twitch drops coming on July 15th, which is tomorrow. I'm doing this video on July 14th, and we just got an Eternal Branch update yesterday, the 13th, which I did a video on. So if this rumor is true that there's going to be Twitch drops, and we had Twitch drops for the first expedition, if the Twitch drops are going to start on the 15th, tomorrow, then that is probably when the expedition update's going to be. And that lines up with other things I predicted. I predicted the update might be today, Wednesday, or Thursday, because those are pretty typical update days. And like I said, there was an Eternal Branch update yesterday, which is a good sign that we're getting an update. But again, this is all hearsay, but it is somewhat more likely based on evidence that we might get the third expedition tomorrow. But again, I could be wrong. They may postpone it and not do it tomorrow, so please don't say that I promised that the third expedition is tomorrow. But I think it is somewhat likely based on this evidence. And we now know what some of the objectives are, although they could change, and some of them are kept hidden. They weren't filled in by Hello Games, so we don't know what all the objectives are, but I'm definitely excited, and I'm really wondering, I mean, based on these objectives, we kind of know that this is going to be a kind of underground and underwater themed expedition, because a lot of it is um, digging things out from underground, exploring caves, building an underwater base. Um, that kind of seems to be sort of the theme in this expedition. We don't know what it's going to be called, but I would guess it has something to do with underground and underwater. No idea what they'll call it, but that kind of seems to be the theme. But of course, we don't know the mystery objectives, which could also, like the beachhead expedition, the word beachhead was a reference to Normandy, the Battle of Normandy. So we had no idea until the end that it was to get the Normandy from Mass Effect. So the name of the actual expedition might have something to do with the mystery objectives, and we won't know until the end why it was named that. But anyway, very exciting that we might get the third expedition soon, based on Twitch drop rumors. And I mean, this information came from an update that was almost a month ago, the data mine stuff. So it doesn't. That's not really an indication that it's soon. But we had the internal branch update yesterday, so things are somewhat pointing to the third expedition starting very soon. But we will just have to wait and see. So I have been Mac. Thank you for joining me for a day. And remember, everything's going to be okay. Special thanks to my monthly supporters, Shell Owens, JSpot51, Shannon and Jeremy, Meg Payton, Renee McLeod. It's friends like you that motivate me to keep creating.